Welcome back to Spur of the Moment. This is Jim. We're playing some more The Outer Worlds today. And we are going to actually go in and start making our moral choices that we've been avoiding this whole time. This base is full of mechanical sentries and stuff. But also, curiously, they're locked behind these energy gates, so they can't really respond very effectively to me. Look at us, indeed. No, sir, you don't want to mess with us. Mechanical or otherwise. Ooh, okay. Let's view the recent logs here. Oh. They appear to be missing and critically overdue. Well, not that we needed the defenses disarmed, but now we have more options of leaving.
The control room should be ahead somewhere. Attached to the light. I hope we can move on forward. Here we go! Don't mess with it.
Wow. This is unsubtle, but so far it's working. And man, does it take out those mechanicals crazy fast. Alright, let's see what we have here. The manager's office, Jay Braden. Messages from Spacer's Choice. This letter serves as an informal notification of our company's displeasure towards your management of the Emerald Vale geothermal plant for reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in your latest quarterly report. Please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in an official reprimand. The Spacer's Choice family would like to collectively remind you that working for Spacer's Choice is not a right, but a privilege. From Jay Brandon. To the esteemed members of the Emerald Vale Development and Oversight Committee, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration of your last letter, I have identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who are unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind the Oversight Committee that while most of Emerald Vale has failed to meet its production and output quotas, particularly our agriculture and fishing/canning departments, neither of which are anywhere near close to profitable, the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-efficient power to the entire region. Regards. Spacer's Choice. Miss Braden, we have investigated the claims you made against the profitability of the greater Emerald Vale region. Our offices agree with you. Agriculture and fishing/canning have experienced a decline, while the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains somewhat profitable. Our offices are currently investigating ways to implement additional cost-saving measures, which will ultimately lead to a leaner, more streamlined, more efficient geothermal power plant. Please be informed that the Spacer's Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a significant insurance policy against the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. The office would like to assure you that this insurance policy is a standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate the meaning of this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineering specialists to Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant. This team of specialists has been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's population of auto mechanicals free of charge. Thank you for your cooperation. And the auto mechanicals are running wild. Oh.
Great work.
That has unfortunate implications.
Nice work.
Access File 1. I had to borrow your copy of The Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. The radio has been sputtering and I need the reference. I returned the copy to the repair bay. Chaos everywhere. Mechanicals gone haywire. Gunfire. Hearing some screams. Oh, law. I think that's someone's leg. Would like to leave early for the day. Please deduct the delinquency fee for my pay. Thank you. Proud to be a member of the Spacer's Choice family. Wow. So even as the mechanicals were running wild, people were kind of trying to pay attention to their jobs and not getting fired. Okay, ethical dilemma choice. Emerald Vale Geothermal is at 22%. It's currently being distributed to both of those places. Structural damage detected. Notify your designated supervisor. Redirect power. Okay. So how do I choose where I redirect the power to? Okay, so I have to do 3 switches before we can switch the power.
Television enough. Oh, you got that?
Let's see. Personal files of Chief of Security here, Tanaka. Chester Higgins again, that hull head. Found him fiddling around with one of the mechanicals, so I had to write him up for tampering with company property. Just in case I'm reading this a couple days from now and feeling bad for what I've done, let me just remind myself that I've warned him before. He's always been a little crooked in the skull. He was working on some logic module. I confiscated it. Should be in my lockaway room for the foreseeable future. Doesn't sit right with me. Company's been replacing our guards with auto mechanicals. Just right, I'm going to end up chief of security with no staff. Just a small army of mechanicals knocking about, guns pointed in every which way. Company tells us that they're safe, programmed to treat us humans like their own. People are liable to break down, but an auto mechanical never will. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. The company's never been wrong before, I suppose. The worst has happened. Auto mechanicals have gone crazy. Knocked myself down here. Just trying to gather my courage. Gonna make a mad dash for the control room. Might be able to shut things down. We'll delete this entry if I ever return. This is an automated message and is initiated by Spacer's Choice Worker Safety Contingency Protocol. A security lockdown has been initiated. This is not a test. Your behavior during this lockdown will be reviewed during your quarterly audit. Anxiety is a common side effect of life-threatening situations endangered by security lockdown. Fight back against anxiety with an ice-cold bottle of 0G Brew. 0G Brew. An ale that's good for what ails you. Well, that's actually kind of catchy. Before I unlock the door... I use a lot of mag picks and... Oh, this is probably the door that they're talking about. Okay. Let's unlock that door with the passcode. And I could find the key, but I'll probably get experience for this, so we're doing it. Got the logic module.
Okay, go quiet. Wow, great work.
That was some pretty great work, wasn't it? That'll teach him. Brought a copy of Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. I think it's volume 3. I need something to read down in the pit. Much obliged. Higgins. Okay. Oh, Jeremy. You're not shooting at me. That's good. Oh, this is a whole nother hallway. Okay. Repair Bay. Log 1. Corporate just sent a team of technicians to conduct a complete refit of all of our mechanicals, every sentry and drone. It's not my place to say so, but doesn't this run contrary to Spacer's Choice mission of being as cheap as possible? Just in case I'm audited, I would like to formally express how grateful I am to be part of the Spacer's Choice family. Spacer's Choice is the leading brand in affordable sundry across Halcyon. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice. Log 0020. Just finished a routine maintenance on our mechanical sentries. I found some strange modifications to the logic modules. I haven't had time to run a diagnostic, so I don't know what's been modified. All I know is that these modifications were introduced in a recent refit. The company went through a lot of trouble of refitting every single mechanical in the plant not long ago. Guessing this was the work of those visiting technicians. Filed a report, but my supervisor told me not to worry about it. Said the company knew what it was doing, ordered me to forget about any alleged modifications to the logic module. Decided to do a little bit of sleuthing for myself, got my hands on the logic module, time to do a little experimentation. See Higgins. I can't tell if Higgins started it or just was too late in figuring out this uprising.
Combat systems operational.
Glad to hear it, Jeremy.
Best choice. It's the Spacer's Choice.
Okay. You made it out of the junkyard.
Systems fully operational. Return journey successfully completed. Spacer's Choice would like to thank you for complying with your duties.
This is odd. Why aren't you attacking
Hostile
me?
actions towards Spacer's Choice mechanics are contrary to logical directive. Conclusion: all hostile automechanicals must be effective in compliance with Spacer's Choice policy. All defective automechanicals must be permanently dismantled. Please allow me to assist.
Let me guess. You want to help me destroy the other mechanicals?
Affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded. Awaiting confirmation.
Granted. Let's do it. Whoa. What? Why are you attacking me, Jeremy? You said you were going after the others. Frick. He's so strong. Frickin' hell, Jeremy. Oh, there's a security chief. And... oh. Ow. Okay, so I think C. Higgins is Chester Higgins. So we gotta find him in his passcode.
Two more.
Okay.
What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's boat if we send power to the veil?
Yeah, huh?
Well, is it already too late? I want to send it to her, though.
No, just leave me alone.
Holy shit, he's actually alive still?
Get away!
Might not be alive for much longer, though.
Get away!
So, pick this up real quick.
Wait, Phantom! You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram!
Wasn't trying to startle you. Most people don't see me coming.
Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms.
That's the first rule.
See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
Oh, God. You're not imagining me.
Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
Okay. How long have you been down here?
Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days.
What do you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna critic, Aetherwave personality, chairman of the board, galactic defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon.
Sisty Pig Tycoon.
I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
How have you been surviving all
Jimmy'd
this time?
opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides.
So you definitely have been here for at least months then. And you ate sprats.
Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food.
What happened here?
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium.
And you weren't killed.
I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
On the killing. You were an engineer?
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
If you worked on them, you must know a way to stop them? I gotta know about the Cyspig Tycoon, though.
Oh, before. Definitely before. Cystipig tycoonery was the apex of my long and storied career.
Okay.
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
Prodding irons. Well, I didn't deal with them. I made it this far, right?
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
I like it.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at.
Cool.
Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal.
Even better.
Here, let me just write it down for you.
I'll be leaving. There we go. Modify behavior. Select new targets. Identify intruders. Spacer choice on automatons. Alright, they have started shooting at themselves.
Great work. Mind the theme. You're liable to get scalded.
Ooh.
Don't make it.
Let's shut off these steam things.
Oh, sweetie.
Watch out! What's up? If we send the power to Miss McDougall, what happens to the air?
Okay, gotcha. So you're still thinking all the angles. Good. Good girl.
Lost. I'm not sure what the ride is. All I know is the decision's final.
Sure is.
Once we do this, they're still going back.
Alright, well, I think...
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Wouldn't mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
The deserters are our community too. I can't just destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
Reed tells me Edgewater's gonna die without workers in power.
Well, it sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Oh, I see your point. I'm thinking I'm
Sorry,
ready to
I
make a
didn't mean
decision.
to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Oh, but now this is a real dilemma. I was definitely thinking of going to the Botanical Labs with the power. Maybe I really should go to Edgewater. I was just thinking Edgewater has problems that won't necessarily be solved by power. Reed Thompson is an idiot who doesn't know how to provide for them. Of course, the Botanicals, Adele is kind of mean. Vindictive, even. Might be the right word for it. But she's actually doing something that's supporting life, and it seems like she's able to cure plague. Dang it, Pavarti. We're giving it to Edgewater. Okay. Alright, we did the thing, just like you wanted. Hey, Thomas, I want to talk to you real quick.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
Got that
No
did
kidding.
that.
Really? Well, which one?
You good? Alright, here's part 3.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile
Just
mechanicals.
don't think about it too much.
That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Miss Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
I want to ask you about something.
What's on your mind?
You know, never mind. I don't really want to hear too much. Okay.
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
Glad you're happy with me. Alright, so you're all without power. Doors. Hey, Zoe.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
I suppose I should stare into the devastation that I caused. That's where you're waiting for me.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fade. Elsewise, I would have seen for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit.
You couldn't have taken me.
This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
He needs his people back.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility.
You know, it's not,
You
but I'll
tell
do it
Reed
anyways.
Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
I'm willing to deal with Reed for you.
You offering to cross Reed off?
Well, no.
Is
Oh,
some sort of twisted
no.
reparation for what you've done? Or are you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos?
I
Kill
didn't.
Reed if you must.
I did not
Talk
mean
him into
that.
leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses.
Oh, God.
I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
That is disgusting. What happens if we run out of corpses?
Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Oof. What happened to you?
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Okay. Well, we're going to take that. Thanks. Okay. Let's start with Thomas.
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
Good. I am here to tell you. You got to go back to Edgewater.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again.
Be an
You
engineer.
know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaine's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her.
Oh, why?
Adelaide hates Edgewater, hates everything Edgewater stands for, hates what that town does to people, and it did to her. We're the nearest she's got to kin. We go back to Edgewater, we may as well have stuck a knife in her heart.
You guys are going to die out here. But stay put. I'll try to talk Reed into
You
stepping
know where
down.
to find me.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
You should go back to Edgewater.
The matter's been weighing on me.
Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Thompson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again.
Thomas told me the same thing.
Edgewater's not just a town to Adele. It's a symbol of everything that's wrong with this colony. A big, heartless machine of metal and gears grinding workers down to dust. We're the closest thing Adelaide's got to a family. We go back to Edgewater, she's gonna feel betrayed.
Alright, I gotta go talk to Reed.
Suit yourself. I'll be here.
Ludwig, I got it for you.
Never seen the Veil lit up like this before.
Mention the logic module. I got it for you.
Soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple of bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Alright, thanks. Maybe this is all for the best. I mean, I really didn't like Reed being in charge. It seems like he just... If I had to go based off of D&D terminology, Adelaide might be like a lawful evil, but Reed Thompson is like a lawful stupid. Or a stupid neutral. Something like that. Yeah.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
About that. She won't be back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Yeah, well, your best? It's not good. This town's a mess, Reed.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people are not sick with the plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
You are more deluded than people in the Empire, man.
The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree? We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna camp. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna.
What exactly are you putting in those cans?
Processed, liquefied, retextured Saltuna rendered in a chemical bath, of course. Well, mostly Saltuna. We've been experiencing a Saltuna shortage, you see. So we've had to improvise.
See?
We've added wood chips.
Oh my god.
Some mushrooms, bit of sand.
Are you serious?
Tossed some canid bits in our processor once.
Whoa.
It all tastes like Saltuna in the end.
Jesus. That can't be healthy.
Health is a state of mind, friend. Afflictions in one's body are reflections of afflictions in one's work ethic and attitude. Now listen, I do not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has fed you, but plagues are a simple fact of life.
She knows how to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
I don't want to say the humans part. she's been using special fertilizer.
And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly?
Corpses.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance.
Okay.
What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide. She won't be back while you're
So
here.
Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I'm as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
You're kind of holding your town ransom. You got him into that situation.
You're right. I am being obstinate. If the best thing I can do for this town is to stand down, then stand down I shall. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ending. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
I get the feeling early retirement is a death sentence these days. This can't have been easy for you? Oh.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
This can't have been easy for
I've
you.
always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs.
I just mean, like, I could take you somewhere, but I guess that's not an option. Alright, deserters, I got good news. I've got Adelaide the job. As
Look at
evil
that.
as she might
The
be,
snake's come back.
she is competent. Talk, reading, and leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point.
You know,
Suppose
for
it's
being
time our
an
flock
idiot,
made our way back to Edgewater.
he was trying
Tend to
his
what
best.
remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward. You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted.
I guess so.
I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
How you guys doing over here?
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
Adelaide's going back to Edgewater.
Adelaide said that? Was she sober at the time? I never imagined she'd step foot in Edgewater long as Reed ran the town.
He
Something
doesn't.
must have changed in Edgewater. Adelaide's good as family. If she's going back, so are we.
Alright. I need to talk to you too?
Never liked Reed much. Can't say I'm sorry he's gone.
Okay, so you know. So that's all set. Anything to say?
How do you expect me to enjoy the adventures of the masked marketeer with no power?
Alright. Not much left to do other than take off, put the power regulator in. You have anything to say, Pavarti?
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Glad you feel that way. You called me Captain, which is true. I am secretly, publicly.
Is this your ship?
Oh.
Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
What about Thomas? I can understand not wanting to go back. You didn't seem happy there.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy.
The vicar's
I
gonna
wanna
be
ask
there,
you
though.
something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Glad to have you along.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
So I guess I just heard that before. Okay. There's the vicar.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Yeah.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
Nope. Power core, power core. Gotta stick this thing in the power core.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Any idea where we can find someone who speaks French?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Isn't he a prisoner? Only one guy can do it?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
Alright. Point taken.
We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
Interesting. How will we find your friend?
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Alright, sounds good. Let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
I can't jump the rail. Oh, what are they? Some sort of security rails? Yeah, show you to stop me from jumping rails.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain?
I installed the power
All
regulator.
systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Okay, let's get out of here. That doesn't look good. Alright, it's working though. Those orbs? We hit ores on the back of... What?
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Oh, yeah. Good, I've been waiting to hear from him.
Ah, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. I can also slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
I do have to go to the Groundbreaker for other stuff, too.
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Alright, fair enough. I will, I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Oh, okay. I'll put it to good use. But tell me what it is.
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another.
Oh.
It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
You mentioned it's got limitations?
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely.
Okay.
Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
And they'll fall for it?
The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act out. They won't focus on you.
Okay. Cool.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Well, I'm feeling good about the Groundbreaker. Space is looking like space. Wow. Yeah. Let's go to Groundbreaker. Welcome to the system map. Here you can see all the planets in the system as well as some special points of interest that you may have discovered. You can fly your ship to any location you have unlocked, though some landing bays require special codes and keys before they'll allow you to land there. Moving between planets is considered extremely dangerous. All employees are encouraged to remain home or at work.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Oh yeah, that's it right there. Except that was a station? It looks like a ship.
Can we talk?
We sure can.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
Okay. What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Well... Yeah, sure, we could, you go to engineering.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time.
Cool.
Did you want to talk about something else?
Did you learn your trade from your father?
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Huh. I don't see the humor of it.
He meant funny as in odd.
Oh.
It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
But why would they be unhappy with that?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they began. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
Oh. Sounds pretty cruel.
Well, it ain't exactly cruel to have the promise of a paying job. And that's all it is. You go where the company needs you. Where your skills do the most good.
One aptitude test determines your whole life?
They're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
You're actually good at it and enjoy it, though.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline.
Oh.
Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
So you went straight back then?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big old hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Ooh. Did you get much time with him after school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains.
Oh,
Dad never
so
said
rough.
that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Alright. I'm pretty nervous about that option. It looks like I'd fire her. Anything else to do here? Holographic Shroud. Holographic Shroud projects a disguise on you and your companions that gives you access to restricted areas, provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. Simple enough. Message from Alex Hawthorne. Message from Bedford. No, I forgot to mention my previous message. Silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't go around showing it to your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're on adventure. Any similarities to a certain someone will be entirely intentional. Udom. Archived message from this Bedford person. Dearest Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor and the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the way, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comm network for nasty little tidbits. I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing bay and instead touched down the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful. Look forward to corresponding with your greater regularity. Udom. Alex, I don't know where you were raised. I'd hazard a guess that you've been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would have been known it would be unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere messages of one of their friends. Udom, please respond. Hello, hello. Hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I am terribly sorry about the impounding mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminal these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Aha! Just like your ship! I hope you've given some thought to that thing we discussed. You know, about the Wells fellow. I'm so sorry to press, but I have the strongest tickling feeling that you really do know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, that'd be marvelous for a friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to seeing you again, wingman. Dear Alex. Hello, Udom here, Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship. My silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope that wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was a pleasure for me, and I tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You are really quite the gentleman. If you ever board the Groundspeaker's airspace, well, space base, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum Vodka. Perhaps we could try every color. You know, really tie one on. Udom. Okay. And sent messages. Look, there's no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many and might have knocked it off the desk. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. I'm not telling you where Wells is, so lay off. Buy me a drink at the Last Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. And logs? Whoa. Shrink ray. Note to self. Remember this for later. No, better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean to continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask that? Back to my point. I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells's lab, just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe. Or I could have asked a smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray, but he wouldn't let me test the claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that push the boundaries of the mind and science, cutting edge. Science is cutting edge. But I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells's shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. Hammer power. Last time I got sloshed, was inviting at the Last Hope and the Groundbreaker. Look, Udom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped onto Mardets, yammering about how a mad scientist from years back who claimed he made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like, none of us have heard that one before. But here's the good part. The Mardets said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something similar. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat? Sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. 3. The black market leads. Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting at him 5 times. But Architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should be commandeering it. And thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet. And that even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I use it to wipe out the good, hardworking folk of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code for me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect there? Exactly. Now, I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meantime, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to some of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Okay, so science weapons or something. Whoa. The monitor is still wrenching you. First wrench dad ever gave me. She's been a friend ever since. Okay, so this is Pavarti's room. Is this her dad? Must have been. Pretty empty. Definitely the vicar's room. Ada, what
Welcome back,
is
Captain.
Sam?
How can I be of assistance?
The only thing about the automechanical gathering dust in the janitor's closet?
The unit is a cleaning stand. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely reported progress notes detailing his efforts to modify Sam. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for Sam to properly operate.
Okay. We'll talk later. Okay, we got 3 SAM results. Do not forget, you found a discarded sanitation and maintenance automechanical in Emerald Vale's scrap heap during your last job. It should not be too difficult to get it up and running with a few key modifications. I can envision a combat-capable variant. Some might say a clean, mean killing machine. Should be fun. Removal of factory standards part SUDS Steeper was successful. Delivery of combat-modified replacement part Acid Steeper has been delayed. Progress setback is estimated now to be a solid 3 months. Not that I have more pressing matters to attend to. But I do. I'm giving up hope on the delivery. The part is lost in transit, and it's not turning up anytime soon. But good news, I heard that from a fellow who knows a gal who knows the broker who overcharged me for the information regarding the location on an ass sweeper I can filch. The part was sent to an old storage facility in Roseway. I sure never thought I'd go back to that pit. Good thing Auntie abandoned it years ago. I'll pick it up following their next pit stop back to Emerald Vale. This next pit stop back to Emerald Vale. Wells wants me to chaperone some person of interest. Details to come later. Okay, so that's... we gotta get an acid steeper. Well, that said though, unfortunately I think we should wrap up the video here before we go on to things on the planet, so that's what we're gonna do. I hope you guys enjoyed me squirming as I made decisions that affected fake little lives on a fake little world. But I think actually we did get a good result. Somebody competent in charge and inside of the city of Edgewater. So, yay, I guess. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. Have a great night.